Consultant physician and infectious disease specialist, Dr. Gertie Anyanwoke, joins me on the news from Louisiana via Skype. Good to have you join us, Dr. Anyanwoke. It is quite shocking when we look at what is happening in India. In January, there was some sort of lull in cases coming out of that country. So what is the logical reason for what we are seeing in India?
Yes, you're correct. Thank you for having me on the program. Yes, by January, they were already slowing down. And I believe about a month ago, they declared an end to the crucial stage of the pandemic in India. And then they started doing massive religious gatherings and rallies. I hear it's election time over there. And the fact that people had kind of relaxed the mitigation measures, and it was almost like life was going back to normal. Some people were getting vaccination, and they now have a strain that was first identified, I believe, in October of 2020. Seems to be a variant of interest right now, not yet of concern, but I think it'll get there soon. The main issue is that we need more studies to see if this particular variant, because they have the double variant and now they have a triple variant in one particular mutation. And so given that that's happening and the gatherings that they're having, it seems like the double variant may be more easily infectious. And so India has a population of at least 1.2 billion people. It's really been bad. I think in the last few days, every day has been either 275 to 300,000 daily cases. And that's not because they are testing too much. I don't think that they are even testing as much as they should. But given the capacity, I believe a couple of days ago, they had more than 2,000 people died in a day. It's really significant.
Very significant and alarming, if I must say. But you talked about the variant earlier. We know that before now we had the UK variant and we also had the South African variant, which were of concern. You've talked about the single variant and the double variant, but what more do we know at this time in terms when you compare it with the UK variant and the South African variant?
Yes, actually, the truth is that the triple mutation that has been found in India has also been found in UK. I believe they found 103 cases so far in the UK, and they found it also in South Africa. And it looks like it's a combination of previous mutations that have now come into one core of a particular strain of the virus. So the things to watch out with this viral like viruses are simple organisms, and especially RNA viruses, which is what COVID is. They're very simple. The more spread we get, the more replication we get of the virus, and the more mutation that is likely, because this mutation occurs as a result of possible mistake in replicating. And the viruses can only replicate if they are in human bodies. And that's why we're talking about mitigation measures. So the three things you should look at for a viral mutation is it easily infectious? Does it infect more people than previous, the wild type? How many people is it killing? Does it kill more people than the wild type? And also, is the antibodies, is it escaping the antibodies that has been produced by either natural infection by COVID or by vaccination? Those are the things we should look at. I don't think we have enough information as at this time, but those are the things that we should be looking at.
Talking about information that we have at this time, one of the information that we have is that vaccination is ongoing in most countries in the world, whether it's been in places like America, where we've seen a high level of vaccination going on there, or places like, countries in Africa where it's not so high. Do you think that this vaccination program going on is giving people a false, or instilling in people a false sense of security?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even here in America, you've seen a lot of places have relaxed. We stopped having so many deaths and so many cases, but now it seems like it's ticking up a little bit again. We're still having between 50 to 67,000 cases of COVID a day. And you're still having a lot of people die. Not as much as it was earlier on. But that's a lot of it is because of people are feeling like, okay, I got vaccinated, and so I am, immune to this. Some people don't realize that even when you get vaccinated, right, especially the 2 doses, you have to wait for Moderna 4 weeks, for Pfizer 3 weeks, and then get the second shot. 2 weeks after the second shot is when you actually have the maximum level of antibodies that will protect you. But some people will get vaccine and the next week they're out doing everything because they feel like they're protected. No, they don't have maximum protection at that time. And in such cases, those people might end up getting COVID. And also, if they are vaccinated and the people around them are not vaccinated, if they got COVID and they don't have the severe form of COVID, they may not even know that they have COVID. But the people around them that are susceptible may be at risk of the COVID. And that's why we're still asking people to still put on the mask and do all the social distancing. Hopefully with time, as we vaccinate more people, then we'll be able to relax on those measures. But some people are just feeling so relaxed because they feel like, okay, we got the vaccine and here we go. I mean, there are a lot of states in America that have stopped mitigation measures.
Dr. Gertie, what you're saying now does speak to the point that experts like yourself have been stressing over the years, that we are not out of the woods yet, and that people should continue to mask up irrespective of whether you've been vaccinated or not. But I just want to ask you, because right now it's difficult to say, let's put in place lockdowns across the country. Lockdowns are very tricky. What can be done? We've seen, you've talked about this variant in the UK, you've talked about it in South Africa, which means it is already spreading. What can be done to ensure that we do not have a spike in cases, especially in places like Nigeria, where we're not even testing enough?
Yeah, you're right. Thank God. I thank God every time that Nigeria really hasn't been hit the way it was initially predicted. I remain grateful because I look at even my own friends and family in Nigeria. It's like the mitigation measures. A lot of people have really done away with it. The advice I have is for people to continue those mitigation measures. It may not be that bad in our country right now, and we thank God for it. We don't want it to be bad. With this virus, first we saw the wild type, and now we have double mutation and now triple mutation. What's going to be the limit? And people need to realize that if the virus needs a human being to replicate. As long as we're transmitting the virus from one person to the other, even if they are not symptomatic, the virus has ability to keep replicating. It is in that replication that it can make a mistake that might become a significant variant. And that's what we need to remember. Mask, please, wash your hands, physical distancing, those are still important measures.
And that's irrespective of whether you've been vaccinated or not. Everybody should continue to mask up. Consultant physician and infectious disease specialist, Dr. Gertie Anyanwoke. It's always great to have you help us make sense of these figures that we get every day. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.